everybody, and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where you boys definitely have some very critical stuff to talk about and to say about the Toronto Blue Jays today, folks. This is the moment in time where you're looking at two crossroads, right? One of them is taking you on a cruise through the Mediterranean, through the Caribbean with your family. The other one, maybe postseason and wild card. What I'm referring to is the fact that the Toronto Blue Jays right now are on the outside looking in of playoffs. And by the way that they have been playing recently, the way that they have allowed the Texas Rangers to walk into their home ballpark and just embarrass them, they are going to remain on the outside looking in unless something changes today, right now, in this game. We are in big freaking shit, everybody. I'm your host, Nicholas Playalong.
I'm your host, Adam Peddle, and my role today is I'm going to try and throw some positivity on this real dark times for Blue Jays. See a lot of y'all in here, Brian Mugg, Gracie M, saying we got, season's not over. You're right. It's not over. Technically, we still can get into the playoffs, but losing 3 games to the Texas Rangers, like you said, at the Rogers Center, is not the greatest way to start it.
Hell no.
And we'll talk about how the Blue Jays are going to how I hope they turn around, but we got to talk about how they're going to and how they should turn it around, and also some other kind of crap going on in this series, like John Schneider being an idiot, and then as well, looking at like some fan reactions and stuff. So we'll take a look at it all, folks.
Well, honestly, the first thing that I want to talk about here, because this one really pissed me off today, guys, and I imagine that it pissed a lot of you folks off as well, because I tweeted it out and it got a big response. John Schneider, after one of the games this week, I think it was yesterday's game, came out and it was being asked about this series, and he said it's not frustrating. He said that it's not concerning if the season was going to be over tomorrow. Oh, then it's concerning, right? And he went on and he had a long blurb effectively going on about how it's like, oh, like we got a bunch of talent on this roster. We got a bunch of this, we got a bunch of that. Pretty much the exact same shit that we've heard all season long. What are your thoughts on what John Schneider came out and said, and the way that he has addressed this team, addressed the media for a while now?
So 2 things. First of all, address the frustrating part. Like, wow, if this isn't frustrating you, like, damn, like you've got a cool head as a manager. Like you have such great emotional intelligence, bro. Like you got it in control. Which, you know what? Sure, if you got that in control, damn, that's a good attribute to have. But the part where it's like, it's not concerning if the season was going to be over tomorrow. It's concerning. John Schneider, where the hell is your foresight? Okay, if we're 1 game away from elimination, you're going, okay, now I'm concerned. Well, if you're 1 game away from elimination, guess what? You now have to win every fucking game from here on out, and you have to have the other teams lose every fucking game from here on out. So you're not seeing that for me, that's a 0.1% chance of making it. We'll look at the odds later of the actual odds by Fangraph, but you need to start winning games now. If you don't, you're asking for a lot of shit that you cannot control to go right your way. So for me, that's concerning.
Well,
that's concerning.
I said it to you before the show, and I'll say it to you folks right here, okay? If what he is saying is true and he's actually not concerned, then he's an idiot. He is actually stupid. I don't think that it's true at all. I think that you have to be concerned when you're looking at this team and when you're looking at what the Texas Rangers have been capable of doing to you, right? Because if you're coming out and you're saying that, oh, I'm not concerned, then you have absolutely no foresight at all. So you are either stupid or you are lying. And I don't understand why you would come out and why you would, in this case, lie to the Toronto Blue Jays fan base and to the team as a whole. I would imagine that if I am Bo Bichette, if I'm Vladimir Guerrero Jr., if I'm anyone in that dugout, in that clubhouse, right, part of the organization, then I want to hear my manager say, you know what, I am concerned. This loss is on me as it is on every single one else. We are not playing good baseball. We gave up in the 6th inning. We were swinging at garbage. There needs to be some sense of accountability here, and there is none.
I'm tired of pretending like everything's okay. I'm tired of, and look, I get it. It's a business. You don't want to sell your business as bad. You want to sell it to the fans like, this is good. This is next level. It's Gauze Day. That was literally the tweet. Like, we're just kind of like pretending like everything's okay. I'm tired of that. Like, everyone can see. The information is available on the internet. You got podcasters and YouTubers like us and other media experts out there that are calling out the truth. And to be like, oh yeah, it's not concerning, is just lying to yourself. You're trying to put up this facade. We're not idiots, bro. We're not idiots. Just hold some accountability. Be honest and at least I'll respect you.
Literally, man. So that is our thoughts right there on what John Schneider has to say. And let's give you a little evidence as to why it is so concerning. Ben Nicholson-Smith came out and had an exceptional tweet where he was breaking down the mathematics behind what the Toronto Blue Jays are going to need to do record-wise from here on out, because now we're looking at 16 games remaining, everybody. Not a lot of time. So you really get a sense as to what they need to do, how many wins, how many losses they are playing with. And when we are flashing over here and we're saying that the Blue Jays are 80 and 66, they're behind Tampa Bay, Texas, and Seattle. They're in the wild card race, but Texas and Seattle, they own the tiebreakers, which effectively means that, yes, we're down by 1, but we're actually down by 2 games, because even if we were to tie them, we still wouldn't make it. So when you're looking at their records, if they go just slightly above 500, which is a pretty conservative estimate, you got to imagine, pretty conservative estimate for 2 playoff teams who've been pretty good at baseball. If they go 9-8 and 9-7, we would need to go 11-15 in the last 16 games. 11-15. If you're a football team, you are one of the best in the league if you go 11-15, right? So we need to be incredible down the stretch, is what Ben Nicholson-Smith is saying.
And that's a lot to ask for right now, right? I mean, Seattle has the capability of getting hot at any point. So does Texas. They have the capability of getting hot at any point. But 11-15 stretch for this Toronto Blue Jays, and like, we all could just say, oh yeah, go 11-15. Oh yeah, let's do 11-15.
Right.
That's so easy. Well, look at what the Toronto Blue Jays are doing when you say, oh yeah, just split a really important series against the Rangers at least. They can't do it. And then you go, okay, well, now we're asking them to, oh, you got to win this series. They can't do it, right? You know what I mean? Like, and it's against teams, may I remind you, that are going to all be AL East teams and above 500 teams. You've got the Boston Red Sox right after this Rangers game, the New York Yankees for 2 series, and the Tampa Bay Rays for 2 series. You're asking them to do something they've never been able to do before this season. Granted, very different team are the New York Yankees we faced back in April, May. Same with the Tampa Bay Rays, missing a ton of starting pitching, and even some of their players in the position, like Wander Franco, right? Very different teams, but it doesn't matter. You're asking a little bit too much from this team, and that, for me, is what's very concerning. You're asking, honestly, like, saying Texas and Seattle to go a little bit over 500, like, one team needs to get absolutely demolished.
Right.
One team needs to get absolutely demolished for me to feel like we have an opportunity.
I completely agree, dude. I also see in the comments right there 11-15. I apologize if one of us or both of us said 11-15. It's 11-5, guys. And the bottom line is we really are playing with 5 losses in the remainder of the season, right? So if you take 1 tonight, then you're down to 4. It's almost like the opposite of the magic number, right? When we're looking at the L's, every single loss from here on out, when they take 1, you just put a little tally next to there, and if you get to 5, then you're effectively counting the Toronto Blue Jays out of this season. Let me ask you, before we even get to their schedules and all the other stuff that we're going to talk about right now, where are you at with this team? Do you think that there is a legitimate chance? I put a poll in the chat asking if the season's over. Right now we're at 80% of the people saying that the season is in fact over. Where are you at right now in your mental watching this team? And if we are to do that, what do they need to do? Because clearly what has been going on isn't working.
Bro, it's so funny you ask me that, because I think about that every fucking day. What do the Toronto Blue Jays need to do to have a good season? I'm going to feel like a broken record right now. And it's going to be so... like, all y'all are going to go, oh, yeah, when he says that, yeah, of course, that's what we've been hearing. You need to have a god-darn plan at the plate, man. Why do we not have a single plan at the plate? And you need to focus on hitting the baseball in the zone, in your zone, man. Like, you go back to an 8-year-old when you're playing Little League, an 8-year-old. What are you told? Look for a good pitch to hit. Keep your eye on the baseball. And they're not doing that. Granted, much harder at a major league level, absolutely. But you're there and your skill's there. You have to find a pitch in a location to hit, man. That's all you have to do. And what's my like outlook right now? What am I feeling in terms of my optimism on this team? Well, you got the Toronto Blue Jays fan graphs right here, the odds right at the beginning of the series. I felt like, we had about a 75% chance at the beginning of the series. That felt pretty good.
For sure.
Now we're down to 46%, and we haven't played Game 4 yet. I'm a little bit lower than that. I'm thinking it's around 30, 28%, because again, you're asking a ton of things to go right. We'll break down the schedules in a little bit, and you're asking the Toronto Blue Jays to wake the F up. You're asking them to go, okay, now right now, you had the whole season, you had 5.5 months to make a plan at the plate. You haven't proved it yet.
Right.
And now, magically, when it matters, it's going to happen? I highly doubt it.
Yeah. No. And,
what about you? What are you thinking?
I echo all of your sentiments there about the approach. While I'm speaking right now, can you pull up that one tweet that I made about that one at bat? It should be just a little bit past here because I do want to reference that. But Adam and what he's got to say about the approach needs to be heard with this Toronto Blue Jays team. Some of our star players just simply aren't getting it done. I'm seeing people in the comments right now saying bench Vladdy, love that idea. That is a blasphemous thing to say, but it's also not when you're looking at some of the stuff that's been going on. I tweeted this out just a few days ago when we were live, everybody, and when you look at what Guerrero was swinging at, what are you doing, dude? This was a 3-pitch at bat, all of them strikes. The third one, that would have hit a left-handed batter, right? I mean, there is just no semblance of an approach right there. He went 1 for 12 in this series so far against Texas, and the one hit that he did got was extremely fluky.
He chased one right around here, folks. He chased one right around here.
It was extremely fluky. It ended up being a chopper that they couldn't seem to make a play on, and it did get counted as a hit, but Guerrero hasn't been there for us right now.
I'll tell you what his approach is. This approach is clear as day. I'm frustrated. I need to get a hit here. Why am I not getting hits because this is the thing that I've seen Vladdy do this cycle it's quite a consistent cycle, folks, everybody. He will go on a little stretch where everything's working out.
Yeah.
Hits are falling. He bats .326 this week. He hits a home run. He's like, wow, things are really working. Then he gets into the next week. He does the same thing, and then, I line out. I just missed a pitch. I popped up. He goes a stretch of 0-8. I struck out there. Then the mentality starts to switch a bit. Then he goes into, I need to get back and make hits. I need to be what I was before. And that's when he starts chasing those outside pitches like that and having horrible ABs. So is that mentality going to be solved in the course of 24 hours from the night before to tonight? No. That's crazy talk if you think that's going to happen.
These stats are a little bit outdated, everybody, but just a few days ago, Guerrero's last 20 games at home, he was batting .211. He had a .272 on base percentage and a slugging. This is the worst one. A slugging of .311. Just no power whatsoever. He had a ground ball rate of about 50%. So that was a ton. He was not lining the ball. Right now, Guerrero at the Rogers Center at home is not getting it done. And no, it's not all on him, right? I know that people are going to say, why are you guys blaming Guerrero a crap load?
Everyone did it last night.
Yeah, 100%.
Everyone did that last night.
And I do agree that it's not all Vladdy's fault. It is everybody's fault on this team. But, I mean, that is what comes with being the face of a franchise, which is what Guerrero is. You are the face of this franchise, and you are going to get the microscope put on you, and he is just simply not performing it. I do want to also talk about this, too. The pitching. They have not been here in this series as well, right? We'd been relying on that pitching so long, and the other shoe was eventually going to drop, right? You've been doing this for so long where your strategy was, we're going to score 2 runs and we're going to win the game off the back of Yusei Kikuchi and the rest of our bullpen. And that's not what's been happening, right? They put up 10 on us yesterday. The pitchers were not there, and you're seeing the hitters aren't there either. So if it becomes a slugfest, which is what it's been right now, we are going to lose every single goddamn time.
Well, a team like the Texas Rangers, they've been struggling offensively before this series for a little bit, but they're still the Texas Rangers offense, even without Adolis Garcia. They're still going to put up numbers. And if, like I saw in this series, when we've watched every single game, folks, what I saw in this series so far is when we miss over the heart of the plate, we're going to get damage going to be done. You missed the Corey Seager, damage going to be done, right?
Correct.
You missed all these, they're good catching duo there in Texas. You missed over the heart of the plate, they're going to send one over the fence. And just little mistakes like that, little slips, are going to cause, the Blue Jays pitchers to blow up. It's unfortunate. I'm not going to say they're the reason for the entire season. The entire season is all in the offense. The pitchers have been doing everything in their power to do it. And you know what? A lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure. When you're literally relying on your pitchers to be well every single day to win ball games.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure.
100%.
They can afford to slip up. We need the offense to step up.
And listen, folks, we've been live for 2 of these games, and in both of the games, I've been shouting at the fact that we are not doing damage on those same mistake pitches.
We have
had
so
opportunities where there have been fastballs or breaking stuff middle of the plate, and we're topping it, we're grounding it, we're not getting enough strong contact on it, folks. So where they are absolutely annihilating the baseball and lining it, to left, right, and center, right, and getting doubles and doing everything, we just simply aren't. Now, I'm seeing in the chat right now, folks, some stuff about Texas and about Seattle. And we do want to talk about this because even though times are bleak right now and it is time to wake the hell up, Toronto Blue Jays, there is something on our side right now because Texas and Seattle, they play each other a decent amount. Somebody's going to have to lose there. And considering those are the 2 teams that we need to kind of drop out of this thing, what are your thoughts on that whole situation?
Yeah. So I got this is the road, guys. I tried to think of a way to convince ourselves something to root for in the next few weeks because a lot of emotions are high right now, especially with the outlook of this the potential missing the playoffs. But this is kind of the road we got to root for. It's not the only road, but this is probably the most likely, folks. Just a reminder: 1 game out, Texas, Seattle, they're tied right now. Like we said before, they need to probably go slightly above 500, like 9-7, 9-8 in this last little bit for us to have a chance to kind of get back in it. So,
and also I want to throw out too, if they decide to go both of them 11-5, which I actually don't know if it's possible.
Yeah.
But if something like that was to transpire, we're effectively toasted, guys.
We're toast,
right? I mean that is what happens when you're on the outside looking in.
So taking a look, first of all, just a reminder of our schedule, right? We got 1 game against the Rangers, which, I mean, we said it yesterday, we said it the day before, we said it the day before that. It's a must win. We have to win today. If we don't, this conversation kind of changes. Boston, Yankees, Tampa Bay. I think just to sum it up real quick, we effectively have to win every single series.
Correct.
And then maybe if you sweep one, you could afford to lose 1 series to go 11-5, right?
As long as you pick up 11 wins, as long as you do not lose 5 times. Right?
Exactly.
There's 5 series, so you're allowed to lose 1 time in every series.
Yeah.
That's how the math works.
Effectively, that's right. So that's what's got to happen on the Toronto Blue Jays side of things. Now, you look at the strength of schedule for the Seattle Mariners. They've got some pretty tough competition. You've got the LA Dodgers, one of the best teams in baseball right now. Then you have the Oakland Athletics, not so good, right? You expect them to win that, but then you got the Rangers, direct competition for that wild card spot. The Astros, you got to hope that they're going to be still pummeling on them. And then the Rangers again. Yeah. So for me, this looks pretty strong. I wouldn't want this schedule, to be honest, going to the end of the stretch. I'd rather have our schedule, to be honest. Texas Rangers, though, they got it pretty easy. Guardians, Red Sox, they can beat. Then they've got, like we said before, the Mariners. Angels are easy to beat. And then the Mariners again. So for me, folks, looking at this schedule, I want the Rangers to pummel the Seattle Mariners like they pummeled us. Because based on strength of schedule, the Mariners are going to have a tougher time outside of the Texas Rangers. Yeah, they got the A's, but you also got Houston and you've got the LA Dodgers, teams that are World Series bound, right? So if they can lose games there and then get pummeled by Texas, go below 500 in the stretch, end up with something like a 4 or 5 wins, that might give me a stronger chance of believing the Blue Jays are actually going to make a playoff spot, because I don't believe we're going to go 11-5. I think we're going to go probably around the 500 a little bit more, so we need that.
Flashback to their schedule really quick.
Which one?
Seattle Mariners. Flashback to the Seattle Mariners schedule really quick, folks. Okay, so let's just say, for instance, they lose 2 to the Dodgers, right? They pick up 1 W. They win 2 against the Oakland Athletics. So right now that they're at 3-3 in that time frame. We do think that the Texas Rangers are going to win there. Let's say that out of the, because they have 6 games against Texas?
I think they might have even more.
Is that a
7.
fourth
it looks
game
like a 4th game.
Yeah, okay, so they got 7 games against Texas right there. Let's say everything goes according to plan. They lose 5.
Yes.
They only win 2. So now they only have 5 wins in that stretch, and then let's say even better, maybe they only win 1 against Houston.
Yeah,
that would mean going 6 and 10 in their last 16 games, right, or 15 games, whatever it is, 6 and 10. That would mean that the Toronto Blue Jays get a little bit more wiggle room. It still requires us to do work.
We got to win,
and that is again asking a lot, because you're talking about Seattle Mariners, who are a pretty good team, really going below 500 and having these other playoff squads just walk all over them.
They got to blow it.
They have to blow it.
Yeah.
We are now asking for another team to freaking blow it, folks. So there is a lot of stuff at play right here. Blue Jays are not in a good spot. We did see some big news coming from around the league today. Chaim Bloom getting the axe. He is the chief of baseball ops over there in Boston. And the reason that I bring that up is they've had a very underwhelming season. But we're getting to that point, right? We're getting to those conversations where it's like, people at the top, organizational members, they might start getting the axe. If things do not go according to plan in the next 2.5 weeks for these Toronto Blue Jays, are we going to see someone or more than one person get cut?
Maybe in the offseason. It's going to have to be probably like October, November for me. Because again, like it's on the fringe, right? Whereas Boston's been losing for many seasons in a row. Like this is kind of our first like, holy crap, wake up. Like, what the hell was that season? That was bad. It's one season, whereas Boston's has multiple seasons. So I wouldn't bank on it just yet. But I'd say October, like, November.
Those conversations are coming, though.
Yeah.
They
could surface a little bit. You know what I mean? Because, again, when we zoom out, it's like, yeah, we sucked this year. Like, last year, like, at least we went to the dance a little bit. You know, we had a good year. Went to the dance. We tried. Get them next year. We did not make it this year. Even though expectations were to do well, you know, it's like, I think that maybe there's a bit of buffer room. I could see like at minimum, you know, someone getting axed, like a GM getting axed in this offseason, but I don't think it's a complete like everyone goes away kind of thing.
I don't think everyone's going to go away, but I would not be shocked at all, folks, if the Toronto Blue Jays underwhelm in these next 2 weeks. If we do not make postseason, and let's just say, for instance, we do the opposite. We go like 5-11 in this time frame. Someone's going.
September 30th at Real Sports gonna suck.
Someone's going, for sure. That's my opinion, guys. I mean, take it with a grain of salt, but I'm pretty confident somebody's going. Now, before we finish everything off here and give our closing statements, everybody, we do need to shout out the fact that Matty Ice is returning to the Toronto Blue Jays. He's coming back from the 10-day IL. I'm going to be completely honest, like, okay.
Cool.
Matt Chapman, when he was with the team,
literally I saw this. It's exactly how I feel.
Yeah, this is exactly how I feel too, man. I mean, Matt Chapman was not having a great month or even several months leading up to his injury. So, I mean, he is back. He is going to be in the lineup today. Let's take a quick look at that just to show you guys what we are working with. Kevin Gausman, obviously on the mound, which is typically a W for us, or like a really good spot. But we're also going up against Nathan Eovaldi, who is one of the few pitchers in the American League that's actually better than Kevin Gausman this year, which just fucking sucks. Well, we got Springer, we got Bichette, we got Guerrero, we got Schneider there, who, you know, is one of the few dudes who is doing it. Biggio, a little hot, who knows? Maybe Matt Chapman can find a little magic. I'm scared, honestly. I'm scared.
This is probably the best lineup you can roll out, but this lineup, like we've talked about this entire stream, we talked about this entire year, they don't know how to score runs. They don't have a game plan, like I've said, man. Like, they all need to be on the same game plan. Like, have a meeting. I don't know if they're having talks or anything. Like, they need to wake up and say, boys, forget about the expectations. Forget about the end goal. Focus on one freaking pitch at a time, man. Like, if you start thinking about, I've got to get the playoffs, like, you're not focused on the job. You got to do your job first, man. Like, wake up. Do your job. That's kind of my final statement, actually, right there. You said final statements. My final statement is wake the hell up and focus on your job. Look at the baseball, find a pitch to hit, and hit it hard. That's it. Just keep doing it. Who cares if you slightly miss one? Do it again. If you're just doing the same approach, you got to focus on one pitch to hit. Keep hitting it. That's it. Keep hitting that goddamn pitch.
Fundamental baseball right there. Fundamental baseball, see ball, hit ball, walk in with a little bit of an approach. And I did see a comment tweet right there saying maybe just try not to lose 10-0 tonight. Maybe that would be a good start, folks, because I don't think that I can sit through another freaking game like that, guys, without breaking something in this household. Folks, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Everybody, if you haven't already done so, please smash that like button, guys. We're not going to be live for this game tonight. We will be live. Too much pain. We will be live for tomorrow's game. I pray to God that we are going to be coming off of a win today, and tomorrow's game does mean a little bit more, folks. But we're going to be there tomorrow night. Maybe it's going to turn into a little bit of a post-mortem for the Toronto Blue Jays, depending on how today and tomorrow's stream go, guys. But we hope to see all of you there.
Guys, make sure to hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, and as always, guys, go Jays, go!